when you tell a story, maybe about when you were a kid, do you just list off a bunch of facts? Or do you try to make the other person feel what it was like to actually be there? That feeling, that's the key difference we're talking about today. And this idea right here, this really gets to the heart of it all. Before you even get to what happened, you first have to describe the world where it all took place. You're not just a reporter listing events. You're more like an artist, painting a whole scene. Exactly. It's the difference between saying, I went to the park, and saying, it was a really sunny day, the birds were singing, kids were laughing and playing everywhere, then I went to the park. See? That background detail, that's everything. And the tool that lets you paint that picture is this, l'imperfetto. From now on, let's call it the storytelling tense. Its whole job is to build the world where your story can happen. So, how does this actually work? Well, let's try to build a scene together. Just imagine you're trying to explain to a younger person what life was like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. You'd have to start by describing the general situation, right? You'd probably start pretty broad. You're not describing a specific event, just a state of being. You might say, la tecnologia era diversa. Technology was different. The imperfecto here establishes that background condition. Okay, now let's add another layer to our scene. Not only was technology different, but internet era più lento. The internet was slower. Again, we're describing this ongoing situation, not something that just happened in a flash. And let's add just one more detail to really complete the picture. I telefoni non avevano tante app. Phones didn't have many apps. That verb, avevano, tells us this was just the general state of phones back then. See what we did there? We've created this whole atmosphere without describing a single action. And what's really cool is that setting the scene isn't just about objects. It's about the entire vibe, the atmosphere, even your feelings. Were you feeling tired? Was it raining outside? Was it cold? All of these are background details that make a story feel real, and all of them use the imperfecto. Okay, so we've painted our backdrop. We know what the world was like, but what were people actually doing in that world? This brings us to the second big job of our storytelling tense. In English, when we talk about habits in the past, we need these extra words like I used to do this or I would always do that. Italian is way more efficient. The imperfecto just handles all of that meaning in one single verb. It's actually pretty elegant. So for example, take this sentence. Da adolescente usavo molto I social media. As a teenager, I used to use social media a lot. That word usavo doesn't just mean I used it once. No, it implies it was a habit, something that happened over and over. The imperfecto has that whole story packed right inside of it. And here's another one. Dopo scuola, guardavamo sempre la TV. After school, we always used to watch TV. Because it's in the imperfetto, we know this was a routine. It was just part of the fabric of our afternoons back then. So here's a great tip. There are certain words that act like little clues. When you hear them, you can almost guarantee the imperfecto is about to make an appearance. I like to call them time travel words because they basically transport you and your listener right into a memory. Let's look at some of the most common ones here. You've got phrases like quando ero, when I was, da bambino, as a child, or mentre, while. These words are like signposts. They're telling your listener, hey, get ready, I'm about to set a scene from the past. And this example shows it perfectly. Mentre. That's our time travel word. It sets up two actions that were happening at the same time, over a stretch of time. I was studying, and during that entire period, I was listening to music. Two ongoing background actions, both described perfectly by the imperfecto. So let's just bring this all together. Here's your simple 3-step guide to telling a story with the imperfecto. Step 1, set the scene. Describe the world. Step 2, add some life to it. Talk about the habits and routines inside that world. And step 3, use those time travel words to give a heads up that your story is starting. And that's really it. That's the imperfetto. It's not just a tense, it's basically a time machine for your words. So the only question left is, now that you have this amazing tool, what memory from your past are you going to bring to life first?